Hello, and welcome. How are you tonight? This is a Friday night. So I always want to sing that song, Just Got Paid Friday Night, even though I did not. But I still want to sing that song. So how are you guys? Happy Friday. Let's see who is in the chat. Tonight we're talking about something that's near and dear to my heart because I told you guys I had a recent passing in my family, and I'm going to be seeing a lot of family, and I've seen and just associates, friends, and the whole nine yards. And I've seen some people that I haven't seen in a while, even family, extended family. And so some of the reactions of me slimming down has been pretty cool. And some of them, though, I'm kind of surprised, and I wondered from you guys, when you discuss your GLP-1 journey with anybody, I don't know who the people who you decided to discuss it with, but I was wondering what was their reaction, and I'm going to tell you some of the reactions that I have gotten. But I told you guys the context to my weight loss story is I'm around the weight that I usually am. I think being bigger than this like surprised a lot of people, but usually this is around the size I'm at, between I'm at a 14, 16 with my size, probably more leaning towards a 14, but I'm usually somewhere between an 18, 16 when I'm just my regular kind of steady weight. And then if I go lose a little bit, I can get down to that 14, 16. So I'm around that. So my goal is to get to bust that 12 wide open. So when I get to the size 12, that would be like in a whole nother level. And then probably like in my early 20, high school years of the sizes I was in. So, it's just interesting to see how people, see you when you lose weight and see you differently. And so I want to talk about that because, my social situations, I don't plan to be out and about like I could be around the holidays. I plan on taking it easy, laying low. That's my goal. But people have planned for me to go to the spa. People have planned for me to do things that I didn't even, have plans to do. So, but for the most part, I think I'm going to take it easy. But it's the holiday time, and we're all going to be out and about socializing. A lot of us, and I'm not going to say a lot of us. And how are we going to handle that? What are the conversations going to look like about this GLP-1? And if you're just going to tell people to kindly mind your business, I want to know that too. I want to know that too. So I want to start off by saying, I took my injection right before this live started. A lot of times when that, I'm pretty much an on-time person. My friends have taught me to be late. And I said, I'm getting back to my on-time self. Now for my mom was an on-time lady. My dad, if you say something starts at 8, they're there at 7:15. I've never been that. And when the times I'm always a little couple minutes early, but my friends have taught me to be late because they're never on time, except for Keisha. I'm sorry, Keisha. I have this one friend, Keisha. Keisha is on time. My second most on time friend is Lori. Lori is always on time, but Keisha even beats Lori. So those two, when I know I'm meeting them, I'm right on time. But any other time, I can, I know what friend is not going to be there, and that makes me run late. So I said, so I can sit here and not have to get up and go to the restroom, I'm going to go at the last minute. So that's what I was doing. But right before that, I took my injection. So I'm going to see how that makes me feel. I didn't bring my vibration plate up here to shake it up because I took that injection, and I don't know how it's going to work out. But one thing I do have is I have my electrolytes and I have my Fairlife. Where is it at? Fairlife. I drank most of this. And the reason why I took it right before the live, first of all, I wanted to, know, like, what is it going to do? How's it going to feel? That was one reason. The second reason is when I get off this live, I want to go to bed. I don't want to be waiting around, taking the injection, trying not to go right to sleep. I don't want to have to do all those extras. So I just want to lay down, fresh, get ready for bed and lay down. So that's my goal. when I get off this live. So anyway, I said all that to say, I made it. I'm here. I am here. So today, again, we're talking about, I want you guys to start thinking about, and I'm going to go in the chat in a second. Before I do that, I wanted to find this. Joe was trying to, you guys know Joe, our homegirl, Joe. Joe was trying to help me out. You know, when you look at the live stream, if you're watching the live stream, it looks like it's two different lives, and it kind of is. Like, I didn't realize that when I was setting it up. It's one is vertical, one is horizontal. So, you know, when I went back and looked at my live from Wednesday, it was like, I said, I'm seeing double DD. And I was like, what is up with that? Well, that's just how it is. It's, you know, it sets up like that. So I'm just trying to get used to it. So I did not purposely schedule two lives. Like, so they're not conflicting with each other. Like, this is what it is. One is vertical, one is horizontal. And so I was trying to find this comment Joe wrote to me, because she was telling me she watched the replay. Shout out to the replay crew, and people are watching that replay. I love that. And she left me a comment, and I'm trying to find it. I can't, and I'm mixed up between these two videos. Okay, here it is. So I'm going to read to you guys in the comments, because I know Brenda had this problem the other night. She says, these are two, let me see. No. I was about to read her compound comment. Sorry. Let's see. Joe. Okay. Okay, so she says, if you ask your regular live chatters, that could be you, to go to your channel and choose the horizontal view. So if you are somebody who wants to be in how things normally are, go to the horizontal view. They can keep in touch with each other. The vertical feed does really, she said the vertical feed does really well on the live replays, because people could watch it on their phone better. But if you want to be in the thick of things, you got to go to that horizontal view, which is kind of should look like a rectangle. So I don't know if that helps or not, but that's what it is. So I'm trying it out. We're going to see how this baby works out. I mean, it ended up working out fine once we got Brenda in last week. All right, so I'm going to quickly go through this chat. We got mail to the beat. And you know what? While I'm going in the chat, can you guys let me know? This is my first question. I want to kind of get this going. So my first question is, who was the first person you told about your GLP-1 journey? Who was the very first person you let know? And take it a step further. Let me know, how did they react to it? A lot of you are going to have your spouses, I would imagine. And some people, if you have not told your spouse, tell me about that too. Does your spouse know? Does your spouse not know? I want to know. All right. So while we're answering that question, I'll put it on the screen there. Mail to the B. Hey, Mail, how are you? We got Miss Brenda. She says, happy Friday, Dee, Mail and friends. And Mel is saying hello to everyone. Mel said she hoped we had a productive and happy week. And then I came in, so I would have been sitting here. I waited to the last minute to get out and do what I needed to do. Yes, please share, like, and subscribe. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. I was looking at my analytics, and more people are subscribing than not. Before, it was like a lot of people watching, not a lot subscribed. I'm kind of narrowing that in. I'm, closing that gap. So I appreciate that. Keisha, how are you, Keisha? We got Reset with Danissa. How are you? We got Perfectly Pamela. How are you, Pam? Pamela, she says, happy Friday, Dee and Diva. Hope everyone had a fabulous week. I agree. Mel is reminding us again to subscribe. Thank you, Mel. Great evening, everyone. She popped over here to hit the like button. Thank you. So are you guys vertical or horizontal? If you don't mind sharing that too. Cookie, how are you? It's so weird because I'm looking at myself twice. I'm like the Dee twin. Let's see. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? Angie, how are you, Ange? How are you? Oh my goodness, look at that cute pic. I always see that blinged out gem. I don't know what that is in green, but it's blinging. It's blinging. You said, let's see. I think Cookie and Pamela are talking about a meetup. Did I hear that right? Let's see. That is so cool. You guys have to like text me, Pam. Pamela, send me a picture. Happy Friday, DJ Meyer. How are you? How are you? Pretty Poppy, how are you? Oh my goodness, the gang's all here. I said hi to Miss Brenda. Look at my memory. The real MVP. I'm sorry, the real MVP. She says, Happy Friday, Dee Dee, and Divalicious chat, fam. She says, I hope I'm on the landscape. So that's the horizontal one, that horizontal one that looks like the square, like the rectangle, I should say. That's what it looks like for me anyway. You said, oh, sorry for the delay. You doze off. Wake up, Miss Brenda. We got to shake you up and wake you up. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. I'm getting ready for some cheese. Louise giggles. Did you mean cheese, Louise? Okay, so I think I said hello to everyone. So let me know in the chat. Here is that question. Did you guys, who was the first person you told you were on the GLP-1? Or does anybody know you're on, have you hid it from some people? Or just, I shouldn't even say hid it. Have you just not mentioned it to some folks? And I'm going to tell you, there's still some people who don't know that I'm on the GLP-1. And some of the people that just recently here found out, I'm telling you, their reaction was kind of priceless. They were like, oh, girl, you look good, or you look good. They didn't really focus in on that. And then you could tell they were thinking about it, and they circled back and said, now, what is that? What is that you said you were taking again? And I just tell them it's a medication. I started taking it for, type 2 diabetes, and one of the side effects of it is weight loss. And if you do all the things, dare I say all the things, which is exercise, eating within a calorie deficit, getting your sleep, drinking that water, flushing things out through your system, being hydrated, you can enhance the weight loss, and you can go further than, what you, probably thought you could. 20, 30 pounds, you could lose way more than that if you really work with the medication. So that's kind of my standard thing. That's what I tell people. And, at first I wasn't leading with that. I would just say, yeah, I'm on a weight loss journey, but the people who I really think could benefit from it too, I kind of say that. I lead with that because I want them to go, oh, okay. And I think I kind of have like the reputation with my friends and people who know me. Like if I'm doing it, it's legit. Because I'm such a skeptic. And, I'm not quick to do new and different things. I'm very skeptical. I have something new on the horizon, and you guys probably are like, when did she think of this? Like, I've been thinking about this for a long time and just haven't gone with it. A thought I have in my head. So I'm that kind of person. I really think things through before I do it, as much as I can. So, I'm really hoping that me telling some of these family members will get them going. And we really are the walking poster boards for the GLP-1 medication. So I don't know if you ever watch Fit Flavor Fun. I know she talks a lot about it, but, when people do silly things or things that they don't really think through with these GLP-1s, you could be on there eating a bunch of McDonald's, or fast food. And I don't mean just like stopping here and there, because I've been eating fast food on this journey the whole entire time. I'm not eating it every day, but I got an 8-year-old and we're busy. And sometimes we have to stop and get convenient food. And that's what I'm going to call it, convenient food, not fast food. So I have to stop and get convenient food. And when I stop and get convenient food, I'm more conscious of my choices now, obviously, because I'm taking the GLP-1, but I've never cut it totally out just because for me, it's not realistic. Now, for you, if it's realistic for you, I say great. But I would like to say, I think if you're, people are on here not minding their business and minding our business and seeing that you're eating, McDonald's and Burger King and this and that. And if you're not doing it the Jared way, where he lost all that weight on Subway, remember that? That's all he was eating is the Subway, and he lost all that weight. If you're not doing it Jared style and you're just doing it, however you're doing it, I can see how people could say, oh, you know, they don't need to be on this medication. They're not taking advantage of the medication. But, you know, somebody tuning in and seeing that one time is not a fair assessment, right? Because, you know, like I said, it's progress, not perfection. You don't have to be doing things every day the right way. You just have to be doing it most of the time, the majority of the time. And I always like to say 80-20. These days, I'm 75-25. You know, I get worried if I ever get to 60-40. So for the most part, you know, we're doing what we're supposed to do, but it kind of can give you a bad rep, you know, the medication, because people take one thing somebody's doing and they apply to all of us, right? So, you know, you just kind of have to be mindful of that, or not. I try to be mindful of that myself. So yeah, so that's it. That's all. That was my reaction. And all along I've gotten reactions of because people know I'm, you know, I say, you know, I'm going slow and steady. And when I say I'm going slow and steady, now when people see me every day, I really am looking like I'm going slow and steady. But people always say, that's great, you're going slow and steady. Almost like it's a badge of honor to be going slow and steady as opposed to losing it real fast. I think people are really resentful when you lose it fast. And I think that is because it's so hard for people to do that. I really do. I think it's so hard for people to lose it fast and get it out the way. And I think sometimes people get a little envious, especially the people that are not on the journey, right? They're not using the GLP-1. And I can see how if you're a slow responder or a slower and steady, slower than even Didi, you know, if you're slower than me, I can see how you would be annoyed. I could see it. Like, God, how is that person losing that much weight? And that's why we're not supposed to compare ourselves, but we do. We do. It's like, who walks that straight line and just looks forward all the time? You look to your left, you look to your right, you see what's going on around you. And that's just so natural. But I think that we have to kind of train our brain, right? Train our brains to kind of focus in on our journey and what we're doing. And yeah, if you can handle looking around and doing all of that and being distracted, it kind of reminds me of like when you're running that race, right? And you have to stay. I mean, look at those girls. Remember those track stars? You think about those relay racers, the track stars. Even though they know people are around them, they know they're running too. They are trained to look straight ahead. Even when they get that baton, they held their hand back. They don't look back. They just hold their hand back. So I think that that's how we have to be on this GLP-1 and when, you know, journey or any weight loss journey. And when I figured that out for myself, and I could see millions of people talking about it, but when I, in my heart, figured that out for myself, that that's what the road I was going to take was my road and my way and how I can handle this. It just freed me up. Like, it freed my mind up to, like, you know, be easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So anyway, let me get back off my tangent and let me go back up in this chat. And what are you guys saying? Who did you tell? The first person I told, besides my daughter, who was the first person? I told a group of people at one time. I didn't tell just one person. I told a group of friends all at one time. So that's who I told. So who did you guys tell? Let's see. Let's see. So I hope you guys are in this chat. You know, we're still trying to figure out this whole two lives. I'm trying it out. So far, so good. Seeing myself twice is kind of odd. Queen DA, how are you? How are you? Look at you with that beautiful green and look, the flip over of it all. I love that. SC Diva, another Diva to Diva. How are you? I love it. Okay, it looks like you're at the beach. If you're not at the beach, you're taking me to the beach with that picture. I love it. Well, did I miss my girl Grace? Almost fell for the trap of the of the vertical live. Not today. Good evening, DD Divas Divos. The secret is out. Okay. Okay. So yeah, that vertical one, that's the one that you are going to be separated. So we want to speak, we are family, and everybody's seeing everything. You got to be in this horizontal one. But the vertical one is for convenience, kind of like food. So instead of calling it fast food, when you hear convenience food, think of Downsizing Diva, because that's what I think of it as, convenient food. If it wasn't convenient, Lord knows I wouldn't be buying it. Jeez, Louise. Okay. Who else do we have in this chat? Ruth, how are you? She says, Happy Friday, Dee Dee, and everyone in the chat. Hello, Boss Lady Vibes. How are you? How are you? Mel says, Dee Dee, there are 2 lives going on. I know. It's 2 lives. That's how the streaming is. Like this is we're headed from I'm headed into the future with these lives, and I'm also headed into the AI world too. So watch out. Watch out, because here comes Dee Dee. Jeez, Louise. Okay, so now you're on the landscape version. Shout out to my girl Joe, dropping some gems all the way from the replay. Oh gosh, I'm kind of hot. Whew, I had to turn that fan off. I had the fan on. Now that fan had to go. Okay, Shay. No, is this Shay my name, twin? I only know one Shay, but I don't remember seeing the 2 E's. But how are you? How are you? Okay, people are saying hello. Okay, so the Diva to Diva said, I only discuss with my family that support the GLP-1. Okay, that support GLP-1. Now, so that leads me to think that some of your family does not support it. Is that true? Geez, Louise. So Cookie said she was ready for this live. Okay, so are you guys telling me, who did you tell? We got that one. Oh, okay. She says people with negative thoughts about GLP-1. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I love that. Okay, so this is you see like this 53-year-old menopause, estrogen, all the things that have to do with that. I went from being hot to where I had turned on the fan. Cold, where I had turned on the heater, to hot, where I just turned on my ceiling fan. Jeez, Louise. It's the lights, too, of it all. All right, so, okay, what do you guys say? Did I miss my girl? Tangy, how are you? Okay. Tangy, you look like this content creator. I do not know her name, but you look like you could be her sister. Do you have a sister that's a content creator taking a GLP-1? She's lost 60 pounds. I can't think of her name, but she's so bubbly. She reminds me a little bit of myself when I was a little bit younger. Let's see. Her personality. I don't think we look anything alike, but her personality is everything. Just Sherry, how are you? Look at you with my favorite colors on. Love it. Love the hair too. Do you have highlights? I'm so into these highlights. When we have our little Diva meetup this summer, I might have highlights. I might shock you all. I might have some highlights in the house. Every time I see people who I think have highlights, they look good. Yeah, Mel, I know it's kind of odd, but we gotta we're just working it out. Toy the review, how are you? She says, hi, Dee Dee, everyone in the chat. Look at Toy, look at Toy. Look at her. Look how her waist goes in. I'm trying to get that too, Toy. I'm not there yet, honey. This stomach, I'm telling you. This stomach, let me show. I'm not going to show my stomach, but here's my shirt. You see how I'm trying to go in? I'm going in, and I'm going to go hard. I go hard. Remember that song? All right, so yeah, every time I see somebody with the N-word, see, that's what I'm trying to do. Look at this belly, though. This belly is, and then for me to have on white, let me give myself some confetti, because I am not a color girl, and I got to shout out 2.0 Mommy. She is the one that has me in anything but black. I try to wear on here. If it's black, I try to wear it with like something colored. And it's because 2.0 Mommy gave me that little encouragement, and I just kind of went with it. So let me give myself some confetti. Jeez, Louise, I got to celebrate myself. Go Diva, go Diva, go Diva, go Diva. Okay, so thank you, Miss Toy. Miss Toy, she's got it. I always want to sing that song when I see her. All right, so if we have some new people in the chat, new people in the chat. If you're in the chat, we're talking about weight loss and GLP-1 and feeling fabulous, looking fabulous. And if you're not about that, sign out, because you're not going to fit in here. We're about the positive vibes. lives and we're good. And you know what? Another thing we do is we don't say only. We only did this and we only did that. We own what all we do. 1 pound, 1 ounce, 2 ounce. You know, I'm the 2 ounce queen. 2 ounce. So I will take it all. All right, so I'm just saying that because I see some new folks in the chat, and that's okay. We love the newbies. What about that? Okay, Pamela, what are you saying? I have the vertical on my TV and horizontal on my phone. The vertical is about 20 seconds ahead. Really? Jeez, Louise. Okay, so we're working through this in real time. Thank you, Miss Brenda. Thank you, Miss Brenda. You know, that funeral, my funeral is next weekend. So, you know, I was telling Pamela, Taisha, and I think I told Mel too. They, been texting me, checking on me and stuff. And I told them, and I don't know if I told all of them, but I'm saying it now. The funeral and the arrangements are next weekend. So next weekend, I won't be on as much, So next week, I think I'm going to be on Wednesday. And that may be it until the following Wednesday, just because, I have all that going on. And another thing too is, my daughter is, dealing with this too. This is probably like the first close death that she can remember, like she's been close to. Probably, since she has her working memory, when you're a baby, you forget stuff. You don't really remember stuff. So, that's a little bit of a challenge, like trying to, navigate with her through it. So it'll be interesting to see how it all works out. But anyway, back to the thing at hand. Thank you, Miss Brenda. I appreciate that. Let's see. Okay, people are saying, oh, they both came up as options. Okay, all right, very good. Hey, JC, how are you? Did I see Miss Rita? How are you, Miss Rita? Did I miss you when you first came in? Hello and welcome. Oh, my sister, because she was also, she was on one also. Oh, was she? Down in the Dale. I like that. So your sister was on the GLP-1. So, oh no, you were on one and you told your sister. Okay, so she was the first one you told. Okay. Oh, I love that. My husband was the first person, and then your kids. So you did tell your kids. Okay, very good. Nope, I haven't told my husband. What? Jeez, Louise. Okay. He sees me doing all the work. Okay, so very good. So a question, if I may ask, why have you not decided to tell your husband? Yeah, what's the reason behind that? I find that so intriguing. Give us the deets. Give us the deets. And is your name Abby? Am I saying that right? My sister who was already on Wegovy, and then your brothers. Okay, very good. Look at these siblings coming through. My older sister, she was very supportive. Very good. Now, Diva, was she on a GLP-1 also, I wonder? DJ Meyer says, I told my husband and I tell anyone who... Now, do they have to ask you or do you volunteer it? I wonder that. Do they ask or do you just volunteer? Okay, so here you go. That's Miss Rita. Bestie and colleagues who told me to look into it. Okay, so very good. So somebody who recommended to you, you said, okay, I'm actually taking it. Very good. I love that. What? Perfectly, Pamela. You said, I just told my mom on Thanksgiving. I haven't told my sister. You know what, Pamela, now that you say that, remember when we met up? I remember us having this conversation. And so I don't know. I don't know if I thought you maybe told him since we talked. That was back in July. So wow. So maybe at Christmas, if she asks your sister. Okay. So what did your mom say? Geez, Louise, did she have a bunch of questions? What was her reaction? This is so fascinating to me. The first person I told was my husband. As a type 1, I knew it would impact my blood sugar, so I wanted him to know that was up if he found me passed out. Oh, that is a real statement there. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, Mel is saying hi to Dale. Did I miss Dale? If I missed you, Dale, hi, Dale. I don't think I did, but I may have. You see how that memory is just like off like that? First and only person I told for a long time was my spouse. I told my mom later in my journey when she asked what I was doing. I was hesitant, but I wanted to get, the GLP-1 for my sister. So, you know, you are an example of somebody who I would say is like a show and prove, right? You showed, you know, you did it and you showed people, you know, that you were doing fine. And then you know, so they have you as an example. I love that because I think that was one of the things for me. I didn't want to tell people. First of all, I'm going to ask you guys this too, because I wonder if you feel like this, but I don't go around, people don't go around saying, yeah, I'm on a blood pressure. Yeah, I'm on a blood pressure medication. I've never been on one. But if I was, that wouldn't be something I would announce. Or I wouldn't go around saying like, oh, you know, I'm taking an antibiotic right now. You know, and you just don't really announce stuff like that. So I wonder what the expectation do you guys think we have, a responsibility to tell people or not? Because remember we talked about this with celebrities. Should they be telling people they're on the GLP-1 and should they not? And I'm all about privacy and what's your business and it's your business and what you want to share is what you want to share. But I think if you're someone who's touting weight loss, if you're someone who's touting being healthy, if you're somebody who's touting love your body no matter what size and you lose weight, I think you kind of have a little bit of a responsibility to share that just because people want to know what you're doing in your, you know, how you lost or, you know, or what you're doing. I think, you know, maybe you should. And Serena Williams, remember when she came out, I don't think she had to tell people she was on the GLP-1 because she's never been known as like a, we always known her to be doing all the things, working out, eating healthy, you know, drinking her water, being hydrated, you know, getting her sleep. So she was known for that. So if she lost weight, most people would chalk it up to, you know, she's just, you know, doing what she's supposed to do. And maybe she's dropping, you know, weight because maybe she tweaked her diet in a little bit, or maybe she, you know, increased the exercise. But somebody like, let's say, a Lizzo, whom I love, shout out to Lizzo. But somebody like a Lizzo who, you know, is losing weight and she was all about like love yourself at your size, and you can still love yourself at whatever size. But when she drops weight, people of course are going to be interested in what she's doing because that was a big part of her message and what she was sharing on social media. So I think it's only natural for people to want to know. Now she could say none of your business, and you know, kind of she did in a way, you know, said, you know, she started taking Ozempic. She didn't let us know until she didn't decide she wasn't working for her. She didn't even want to take it. And I also think that's her business, but don't be surprised when you get the pushback because, you know, if you lead with that, don't be surprised to get the pushback. So I guess that's my stance, you know, and if somebody, you know, when you're a bigger person, just think about when you're a bigger person and you see somebody losing weight that was bigger, and you want to know what they're doing. You just want to know, right? And I guess because we can't see the blood pressure, right? We can't see the blood pressure going up and down. We can't see the A1C going up and down. I guess that's the difference in the weight. The weight is very visual. And so I think that's what makes the difference. All right, so Miss Brenda said, my husband and then no one for months. And then my childhood friend, after she revealed to me that she was on the GLP-1, microdosing for menopause symptoms. What in the what? Jeez Louise. Okay, all right. I love that. I love that. Okay, so and you didn't tell her, and then you found out she was doing it. It's like a soap opera. I love your husband, very supportive, says Doris. He works for Lilly, but unfortunately, nothing to do with Zepbound or Mounjaro. He is on my insurance, and it doesn't cover weight loss. Well, even for the Lilly employee. How about that? Jeez, Louise. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. So, you're saying you like the original one. Are you talking about the live layout? Is that what you're talking about, Miss Toy? Horizontal. I'm used to seeing you horizontal. I love that. Very cute. Horizontal. I was on the vertical on Wednesday and I thought my app was acting up. Okay, very good. So mail to the B, are you on the, because she's talking about these two lives. I hope I've figured, straightened that out in your mind for you. I don't know. Have you wrapped your mind around it? But which one are you on, Mel? Are you vertical or horizontal? Mel is holding it down in the chat. Oh, Keisha says her mom was very supportive. Very good. Oh, we love moms. Way a Texas Mita. I have a judgy friend who says everyone on a GLP-1 looks gone. Has she seen the Diva? No, it has been a month or so, and I had not seen her. Well, she told my friend that I looked good, but lost my tatas. I said, well, at least you didn't tell. Okay, wait, I don't know what that second part is. Miss Molly, welcome to the chat. Okay. So a judgy friend. What's up with those judgy friends? Oh my goodness. Okay. Is your judgy friend overweight? I wonder. I'm just asking. I love your friend, but I'm just saying, is she overweight? Let's see. Okay. My daughter, I told first. She knows my struggle. Okay, very good. So you felt comfortable telling your daughter. If I miss somebody in the chat, guys, let me know because I'm not intending on missing anybody. Okay, I'm scrolling down. Jazzy, she says, I told my bestie, one trusted coworker, in case something happened at work. You guys are this is the smartest chat in all of GLP-1 land. You guys are so smart to do stuff like that. I'm always amazed at the great ideas. I think my siblings might be mad that I'm no longer the largest family member. Jeez Louise, I'm good with my decisions. I love it. And she said, wait a minute, and don't question me. I'm good with my decisions. I love that. I think that's very smart, very strategic. I love that. So what about, so you said, I think my siblings may be mad that I'm no longer okay, so does your mom, dad know? Are they, is other people know besides the bestie and somebody at your job? So it sounds like just two people, right? Oh my goodness. She says, I also tell everyone, I've told waiters, people in the grocery store, random folks at the airport. I tell everybody about Zepbound. Go Zepbound, go Zepbound, go Zepbound. Why did I read that like that? I'm excited. I'm excited about it. That is too funny. Okay, so wait a minute. I might have skipped some folks. I see somebody saying hello to Delilah, but I don't see Delilah. But hey, shout out Delilah if you're on there. Oh my goodness, Hamani, how are you? How are you? Hamani, who is the first person you told about the GLP-1? Or have you told anybody? Okay, so you're on both. Dang, I hit it too quick. I said, at least you didn't tell me I looked good. Oh, so she didn't tell you. It might be coming, Miss Molly. It might be coming. You never know. Okay, so you said the shirt I'm wearing in my profile pic is a light up shirt. Oh, so it just caught the glare, but I'm loving the bling bling. Okay, yeah, I'm like, she is blinged out. I thought it was like some Christmas kind of something. I love that. You said, okay, I love that. That comment just cracked me up. She said, I tell everybody. Let's see. Oh, I didn't hear you say the first one. The first person I told was my oldest daughter, then my bestie. Yes. Kate the Great. Kate says, my bestie was the first I told. She was super interested and supportive. I told her about how it's also for diabetes, and she started taking it a few months after me. Oh my gosh. And her A1C is within the normal range. Yay. Wow. Isn't that a cool thing you did and share it with your bestie? I love that. I absolutely love it. Okay. Never fear. My girl Nora is here. Nora, how are you? Okay, so let's see. You said, but Dee Dee, it's 2026. You're meeting the Downsizing Diva. I want to know, when does he find out? Yes. I don't know. You know what? That's interesting. I think I might tell. I'm not one of those people that I'm very private, but for some reason for this, I think I might tell. But I don't know how soon. It just depends. It depends on him. I would have to know. You know what? When I'm dating somebody, I'm gonna come up on here and I'm gonna be like, am I going to spill the beans? I don't know. Maybe I will, or maybe I won't. You might be able to tell from the way I'm talking, because I might be talking a little bit different if I'm dating somebody. We shall see. My daughter's going to spill the beans. She probably won't be able to hold it. Oh, I haven't told my mother. She has a negative opinion about GLP-1. Okay. All right. Geez, Louise, how long have you been on it? Because I think after you see after you've been on it for a while, and then you can finally tell her, I think it'll be okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think so. I think so. Let's see. I don't tell anyone unless they ask, which is crazy since I Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So you share it on YouTube. Now, if I'm not mistaken, my girl Grace is up in here. And I remember one of the lives. Now, this could be you could have did something different. But I remember you said your husband didn't know. Don't tell anybody. Her husband didn't know and her kids didn't know. Is that still the case, Grace? And how do you keep that? You know, like your husband never sees you taking the injection. Um, you must hide things. Not that you're hiding it, but you know what I'm saying? Like you must like do your own thing really well. So that's a question for you. Okay, so Devin says, Devin, how are you? I never told anyone, but I'm off for good. Oh, okay, okay. So you're off for good. When you say for good, why do you say for good like that? Like was it a bad experience? Is it something you never think you'll need again? Like, what is the deets, Devin? My hubby knew first. We started around the same time. He's on Mounjaro and I'm on Zepbound. Wow. Okay, very good. I love the husband and wife support, the content creators that have their husbands and have them on. I always love that. I love to see the support of it all. Um, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, Mel is saying hello. Oh, Hamani said, my husband and parents are the only ones who know about me being on a GLP-1. Okay, very good. All right, all right, all right. Anybody else that I didn't catch? I share with my kids first. They had questions about compound pharmacy, so I need to be educated so I could talk openly with them. Okay, very good. They had questions. Okay, very good. So, and I love that. So you're a compound lady and you are, you know, you're sharing the information and that's great. And I also think if you're having a great experience with compounds, that should be shared because, you know, of course, on the media and what's reported, it's not sometimes always the best thing. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Oh, Real Journal Talk with me. Real Journal Talk with me. I'm glad you're in here. You know, because last Saturday, this is like a sidebar. Last Saturday, I was in her journal writing class. It's not journal writing. I guess I don't know what kind of writing. It's like a creative writing. It's like a reflective writing. Well, I don't know. Tell us the name of it and tell us what time you're on, just in case somebody's interested. You know, I went in there and I didn't have my journal to the side because I was actually in bed. I was in bed, but I was enjoying it myself on there. And because I love to write, I am a writer and I love to write. And I don't teach writing. I haven't taught writing since COVID years. And I kind of miss that. Yeah, because I love journaling. I love getting your ideas down. And so I enjoy being in there. I use the comment section as like my journal. But I thought it was some very good prompts, writing prompts she had, and it got you thinking. So okay, so Real Journal Talk with V. She says, my spouse is the only one who knows, but if someone asks, I would share. Okay, all right, very good. All right, so don't forget to put tomorrow the time, and we'll see your channel. So if somebody wanted to come and start their day off, because I think it's at 10:30 a.m. if I'm not mistaken, and that's a great way to start your day. Now, some of you I know are up with the moon, the stars, the birds. And so that's going to be midday for some of you. But for Downsizing Diva, I try to sleep in on the weekends. Okay. Nobody knows, just those two. Okay. Very good. Okay. So wait a minute. Devin says, he says, actually, I did tell someone my brother is on it, but it's not working for him. Oh, okay. Okay. So is he blaming you? Like, you told me about this and it's not working. Okay. What are you guys saying? Okay. So you're saying you're like Miss Toya. If somebody asks, your share, but just don't go out and tell everyone except on YouTube. Your brother doesn't do research, workout, or even try, so I'm not expecting. Okay, so I'm glad you clarified that, because somebody who's just scrolling by watching and will see that might be like, yeah, I know those GLP-1s aren't doing all that. Well, that's because I like how you added that little sidebar. He doesn't do research, workout, or even try. Okay, very good. And so for some people, they may have luck doing that, or they might be okay for a while, but eventually I think time ticks on that. But we know now you got to do all the things. And what is all the things? Exercise, getting that movement in, getting sleep in, drinking that water, counting those calories, or being in some sort of calorie deficit, tracking your macros in some way. You got to do a little bit of that. I would say 80-20 to really see some results. I mean, really, some people, like I said, everybody's different. Some people could do half of that and still see the results. But I would imagine eventually it's going to slow down. Somebody said, Brenda, you're on YouTube. Everybody knows. But you know what? I will say, when you're on YouTube, your family and friends don't necessarily know you're on. And I would advise you, not to tell them, because they're going to mess up your views. They might be interested for a minute. They're not going to be the ones that are watching, that really is buying into your journey for the most part, because they see you all the time. They know you. They know of you. So I think it's a little different. And the gurus out here will advise you not to tell your family and friends you have a YouTube channel. And I have taken that advice. I have not told a lot of people. So the people that are on here are because they want to be, not because they know me and think, oh, I got to support her. You know what I'm saying? Because barely anybody knows. I really have told maybe 10 people that I have a YouTube channel. And I had to tell those 10 people because half of them are in a group chat together and they came on my first live. And then the other ones I told, kind of like what Jazzy MD said, these ladies I work with, and I wanted them to know just in case something happened. Of course, I told my dad, and I'm trying to think. And all their reactions were, you're doing it right. You're doing it the right way, because I didn't drop so fast. And I think they've just seen slow and steady over time, and they approve of that. So I wonder if I was dropping really fast and furious, what they would say. But anyway, yeah, that's the thing. And I don't go around telling people, but I'm not against telling people. And some people that I've told, because they ask what, they were like, man, I ask, you look good. What are you doing? And so then I tell them I'm taking this medication, but I always lead with the reason why I took it to begin with, was Mounjaro. And I always say, to control my A1C. And I always, always, always add in there that I'm also doing other things to help with the weight loss. Like, initially, I think your body's just, like, thank God something is in here trying to save me from this processed food, right? And then I think eventually, your body starts to, you got to do something else. You just can't rely on the medication if you want to see continued results. You really just do. And again, there are outliers to everything, but for the most part, you really got to work it. So tell your brother that, Devin. Tell him he has to work. Tell him to watch the Downsizing Diva. Living in South Carolina, is that South Carolina now, and going back to Michigan for Christmas. Okay, you're not sure what you will do or say. Okay, all right. Well, so this leads me to my next question. That I wanted to ask you guys, because when you say you're not sure what you'll do or say, I get that, because it's like, should I tell? Should I not tell? Are you worried that people will be judgy, or are you like, what's the reason why you would not tell? Like if somebody said, "Oh, Sherry, you look so good. What are you doing to lose weight?" What would you say? Now, if you're on Mounjaro, type 2 diabetes or something to do with your blood sugar is a good, you can lead with that. But what if you're on Zepbound, you're on tirzepatide, semaglutide, Wegovy, and you don't have the A1C issues? What do you lead with then when you tell people about it? I wonder, because mine is, and that really is the reason why I was taking it. Let's see. Okay, I'm not trying to think. What's the next question I want to ask you? All right, so this is what I want to know. Has anyone ever judged you for using the medication? Anybody that you have told, are they judging you for using the meds? All right, let's see. Is my mic on? My mic sounds nice. Check one. My mic sounds nice. Check two. Let's see. Okay, I've scrolled up way too much. All right, I hear a lot of comments up in here. The only people who know I'm on Zepbound are me and you and your doctors. Sydney, okay, all right. And you gotta respect that, right? Because it's your business, right? Remember that Salt and Pepper song that it's called "It's None of Your Business." If I want to take a guy home with me tonight, it's none of your business. And if she want to and do it on the weekend, it's none of your business. So Sydney is like, if I want to take Zepbound, it's none of your business. So yeah, you could lead with that. It's none of your business. Oh, how about that? All right. So Sydney, yeah. So what's the reason? Are you just? It is your business though. And somebody said this a while ago. I can't remember who said it, or maybe I said it. But really, this is a medication. So we don't go around advertising the other medications, but I think what makes this different is it's very visual. Again, if I was on high blood pressure pills, you wouldn't know unless I told you, right? You wouldn't be able to say, oh, Shay, it looks like your blood pressure's going down. Or you wouldn't be able to say, Shay, I think your A1C might be going down. But with weight, because weight is so visual, and you see it, I think that's the difference. You can see that somebody's losing or gaining, and that's what prompts people to ask what you're doing, right? Because they can actually see it. So it's Darium. How are you? Dee, friends, finding focus. Frivolity, is that how you say that? And festivities. Oh my goodness. How are you are so funny. Sweet Bee. Oh, Sweet Bee. Look at your picture. What a cutie patootie. Oh, my goodness. I love the bun in the back. My daughter, she can make a good bun. She would have to do your hair for you, too. I love it. Okay, so you said you told your husband and your stepmom first. Okay, very good. I love that. And what was their reaction? So is anybody getting reactions that aren't so hot? Like, are you getting reactions? Are you being judgy? Are you getting the judgment of it all? Let's see. Hey, 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 Mayor Mindy's in the house. Mindy, how are you? Okay, so Mindy, we're talking about the secrecy of it all. Who is the first person you told? And Darian, what about you? Who's the first person you told you were on a GLP-1? And now I want to know, I lost my question. Has anybody been judgy about this medication? And I'm going to say, dare I say, I have a friend who I think stopped talking to me kind of because of it. I think that was one of the reasons she just kind of like gave me the cold shoulder. And I think it's because I'm taking the GLP-1. And she was one of the people that when I told her I was taking it, and she just started hitting me with a negativity. And that's fine because I get it. It's like, I get it. The things you heard on social media were all so negative. What I don't get is she was just being cold and distant after that. I don't know what it is, but yeah. And I would think if you really love and care about somebody and you felt like they were taking or doing something that wasn't quite in their best interest, is it really smart to pull away from them? Now, I can see if you were doing something that's like, where you can see that it's ruining their lives and that they're, not going to work and not able to care for them. So things like that. But if you see this person is thriving, doing well, doing even better, having even more energy, saying your health is improving, like what would make you shy away from that? So that just, I don't know. That's not cool. So yeah, so I've had that experience and that's just not a good feeling because now when they're ready to come back, I'm not ready. You ever had that? People who fall out with you don't know why they're mad, why they're upset, and then all of a sudden they're not really coming around or talking, then all of a sudden they get over, they're ready to talk, and it's like, no, I'm not ready. Like, I don't even know why you were mad. Like, no, it's not going down like that. It's the menopause of it all. I must be really behind in my comments. Am I that far behind? Thank you, Miss Brenda. She's talking about the time. I think I'm very far behind. DD is going in for the win, getting thin. Go Diva. We're gonna have to do a duet, Cookie, because we got some lines. Okay. Did I say that? Did I say mine? I didn't mean to say mine. The one I have to go to. Yeah, not my own. Oh, thank you. Okay. You say, oh, I look terrific in colors. I was all black, everything, and started wearing more colors now too. Very good. Let me give you some confetti for that. Jeez, Louise. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right, all right, all right. Okay, okay. Let's see. I feel like I'm off my my thing. Okay, here we go. Dose. It's like it's hot. Pause. It's like it's hot. Trust the process. You got this on lock. Welcome, newbies. You're in the right spot. Another teacher. You know what? I thought about you, even though don't you teach social studies 8th grade? Am I right about that? Social studies 8th grade. I was playing this game, Roll to 67 with my class, Rolls to 6-7. You guys know the 6-7. 6-7, if you don't know, that is the #1 word of the year. That is the word of the year. Some dictionary made that.
Who said 6-7? Why do you have 2 screens?
Oh my goodness. You and Miss Mimi, go and have a seat. You and Miss Mimi are with the 2 screens. Jeez, Louise. Okay, so anytime you say 6-7, if there's a kid or a teenager around, they're gonna act like you just have hit the jackpot. So yeah, so Grace, do you know about Roll to 6-7? That's a cool game. But anyway, I don't know why it made because I was like, we need to do you and very creative too. Your shorts are also very creative. I love that. Okay, so she was on the GLP-1. Okay, my daughter then threw me off coming in here with the 6-7 of it all. My mom didn't say didn't say anything on Thanksgiving, but she texted me the following day asking me the name of the medication so she could ask her doctor about it. Okay. Just the fact that she wants to know, even if she didn't want to use it for herself, she just wants to know what her daughter is doing. I love that. Well, I'm gonna give your mom some confetti. All right, here, mom. Jeez, Louise. Okay, all right, very good, very good. All right, so let's see. Here we go. Here we go. I'm scrolling down. I must be really behind in these comments. Let me look at the time. Oh, yeah, I'm about a good 20 minutes, man. 25 minutes. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm scrolling. So your sister suggested the GLP-1 when I was diagnosed as pre-diabetic. Okay, very good. Jamie. Okay, Jamie is hitting us with this. I feel like it's no one's business. Okay, wait a minute. I gotta feel like I gotta have some attitude with this one. I feel like it's no one's business, and I barely told anyone. Only a select few people that are closest to me, and I know that would be accepting. Okay, so are you guys worried that people are going to be judgy, and you don't have time for that? Ain't nobody got time for that. You don't have time for the judgy. Okay. Oh, Purple Bellflower. Hi, my weight loss twin. How are you? Simply Taisha. Hey, Taisha. She said the first person I told was TJ. So your spouse. I love that. Now, do all your daughters know, Taisha? Do they all know? I'm thinking they all know. Okay, all right. So I don't know what you guys are talking about, so I'm gonna go to this one. I didn't want to talk with people about my weight at 410 pounds, and I still don't want to. Wait a minute. You were 410 pounds, and now you're 175. Hold up. Wait a minute. I love that. Look at you, too. Look at that profile pic. What in the world? Okay, let me give you some confetti, some applause. About oh my goodness. Wow, good for you. Okay, all right. So you said you didn't want to talk with people about your weight. I understand that. And I didn't either. You know, before I came on YouTube, this is so crazy. Nobody knew what I weighed. Not my mom, my dad, nobody. my daughter didn't even know before this GLP-1. Nobody knew but the doctor's office. That's it. And I didn't want them to know. I wanted to tell him to cover his ears and eyes. But I knew he wasn't going to do that. I have a guy weighing me in. It's my nurse's assistant. But yeah, I didn't want anybody to know. So I can totally relate. The thing is now everyone assumes, yes, and I do. I'm one of those people. I'm sorry, Nora. But if you've been around me before and you were struggling on the struggle bus, and all of a sudden you're dropping weight like raindrops, I'm like, oh, they're on a GLP-1. I'm so sorry. I'm one of those folks. And I will say, as of today, December 12th, I have been right. I don't know if that's going to continue, but so far, when I've suspected somebody for being on the GLP-1, it's been true. Okay, so, oh, honey, goodbye. You can't sing that song. I'm going to get a strike. No. You can't sing that. Okay, let's see. All right, Sydney says, that's it, Dee Dee. I don't discuss any medications that I take with people, so why would this be any different? However, if family or close friends were directly to ask me if I'm taking a GLP-1, I would tell them. Okay, much respect for that. I get that, and that is, yeah. I agree. I agree 100%. My husband suggested to me 11 months before my doctor, and you finally agreed. Okay, thank you to the hubby. I was on both. Problem solved. Everyone needs to never join. Oh, don't say that. I have to say I'm blessed that my friends are not judgy. Well, I will say, go back to Mel's comment before I jump over there. Some people don't necessarily want to be in the chat. So if you don't want to be in the chat, I guess, the one that you can't be in the chat is okay. But if you want to be in the chat and connected to the comments, I guess you got to come over to the bright side. You thought I was going to say the dark side, didn't you? Okay. I have to say I'm blessed that my friends are not judgy. My second bestie that I saw this past weekend is now looking into it. She has sleep apnea, so it may be covered for her. Good. I hope so, because my dad, not such luck with his insurance. TJ, my daughters, my mom, my sister, and a couple of friends, really people in my life that I talk to on a regular basis. Okay, and that makes sense. I agree with Jamie. If I was still at 315, they wouldn't ask me anything. That's so true. That's so true. But now that you're losing, they want to know what you are doing. You said my husband suggested it because he saw how I was constantly struggling and dieting and hitting a wall. Oh, geez, Louise. He also saw how much my health was declining. Very good. So I'm glad he was up on that. See, that's one of the advantages of having a spouse, somebody that's on it. So Pamela said, no, Mel, we want the vertical. I mean, we want the horizontal, not the vertical, right? The horizontal one is the one that, Joe told us about. Okay. All right, so let's see. So you said, I think I mainly tell people close to me because of possible hospitalization. Yeah, meds are not always up to date in medical systems. If you are not able to speak during an ER, who can advise? Okay, that makes sense. Yes. Mel says she meant to say vertical. Vale, how are you? I told my daughter only then after 6, not, I told my husband, no one else knows, not friends, not family. I don't tell anyone else. Okay. So you're not telling, and you got to respect that. I think that's, and look at you have paws. Oh my gosh. And your profile pic, so cute. Okay. But yeah, I respect that. I think, again, this is one of those things where you got to do what feels right for you. But I wonder what it is. Cause one of the things I want to, say to anybody that's a newer on the journey, I'm 21 months in, maybe 22 at this point. And so, I've been on it for a while, so I kind of know how to maneuver. I know what I want to say, why I want to say it. But if you're a newbie or somebody who Maybe haven't had that many social interactions. You know, this holiday time, maybe you're feeling more confident. You're going to be easy breezy, lemon squeezy out there, you know, socializing. I think it's important to be prepared, not just with the food, but with the combos you want to have. Are you going to share? Are you not? Whatever you decide to do, it's your choice. And I'm going to tell you, whoever you talk to, it's going to be that person that is going to make you feel comfortable is the one you're going to share it with. If somebody, you get that inkling that they're judgy, you've heard they're judgy, you hear them bashing GLP-1s, you're not going to tell that person unless you do a revenge tale. Like, really? Check me out. You know, like, look at me now, check me out now. But for the most part, I would say, you know, just be prepared with what you're going to say. And whether you choose to say, you know, I'm taking this medication, it's helping me slim down, I'm doing all the things, you know, I would add that in there. But, you know, you have to go with what you're comfortable with. And I would imagine it's going to depend on that energy and that vibe you're getting from the person, right? The energy is everything. You know, it's so funny because I talk to some people and they're doom and gloom, right? And I talk to them on the phone or I see them, and because I'm so bubbly, they're bubbly, but that's really not them. And they're like, I'm just only like that with you because I'm kind of bubbly, especially if I haven't talked to you in a while. I mean, geez, oh man. I'm gonna be like a dog, like all over you, excited. But so you feel that energy. And that's the same vibe you're going to get with people who you're telling about this GLP-1. And when you pick up the vibe, and if it's not a good vibe, keep it to yourself, because we already do a good enough job at second guessing ourselves, criticizing ourselves, being judgy with our own self. We don't need other people doing that, right? So I would say, you guys, if you've been following my community posts, you know what I've been saying here lately: protect your peace at all costs. And sometimes that means cutting folks out. And I hate to say that when the holidays are coming up. But yeah, you know, that person that's on your last nerve, you don't want them on your last nerve at this time of the year. You know, we're focused, we're honing in on the end of the year, we're working towards, you know, what we want to see ourselves and how we want to feel and what we want to do for the new year. So we don't need the time for the judgy. All right. Okay. All right. So let me see. Okay, so you're saying, again, this is just one tool for weight loss. If I talked about exercise and portion control, yes. And I always add that in there. I don't just say, oh, I'm taking Mounjaro, it's for my A1C, and it, you know, it helps you lose the weight. I always talk about like that I'm also doing some other things, because I don't want people to think, and if I was on Zepbound, I would really be hitting that home, because, you know, when you're on Zepbound, you know, it's for sleep apnea and all of that. I know the other things that helps, but you know, sleep apnea is effective because you are, you know, kind of trimming down too. So, yeah, so I think I would really be hitting all the things hard if I was talking from that perspective. Okay, so Grace, geez, Louise, I feel like I asked you this 28 minutes ago. I told my hubby, but. And then my bestie, what the rest of my friends and family don't know is that it's the YouTube. Okay, that makes more sense. Oh, and here for months, I've been thinking that you haven't told them about the GOP, so they don't know about the YouTube. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. I love that. Okay, very good. I'm not opposed to telling most folks, but you know what? I also, before I get to that, I want to give a shout out to Losing It Graves. I saw you had 3,000 plus subscribers. Geez, Louise, you are growing. And you know, you are doing something that I should have done when I started. I'm not going to say what it is, but we'll have to talk about it from teacher to teacher. But yeah, let me give you some confetti. Jeez, Louise, Losing It Grace. That is so awesome. You have 3,000. You know, it's difficult to get 1,000. So you're at your 3,000, and it's going fast, and you're growing and growing. And I will say, you know, your shorts, I was looking at some of your shorts, and I'm like, this is awesome. You know, I love the creativity, you know, teacher to teacher, you got to do it. If you're going to make it as a teacher these days, I'm telling you, you have to be creative. You really do. And she said, Diva, I'm going to use your pie, the thing you do with the pies. And I said, and this was my last one. So I carried the torch. I told her we got to keep in touch now. So I'll know how that goes. All right, very good. So Sweet B says, Sweet B, I love your pick. You said, I'm not opposed to telling most folks, but certain people who have negative opinions, I will keep it to myself. Protect your peace, sister. Protect your peace. Don't tell. Don't tell. I would not say a word either. Let's see. Miss Brenda said, I don't tell anyone except you guys. Nobody watches my YouTube or social media, so I can post up. No one pays attention to my stuff. Nobody follows me. Some people do follow you, but you know what? That's how it is when you start out. It is slow. It was slow for me. It's slow for everybody. I don't know. I mean, maybe not everybody. There's never an all right, everybody, but it is slow and it picks up. And a lot of times it picks up out of nowhere. And sometimes, the videos you have now, that's one great thing about YouTube. And I said, I'm not going to talk a lot about the content creation of it all because people think you're talking about them and you're really not, if I say something specific. But because you got to remember, I'm watching things outside of YouTube. I think it's smart if you want to, for me, if it's smart for me, if I want to be a YouTuber and, grow, I'm going to have to watch people outside of my genre that talk about growing your channel. So I'm watching other people. I'm not really always talking about GLP-1. I know that's hard to believe, but I will say, when you start out, Miss Brenda, it is slow. It is slow. And you just have to keep doing make the videos you want to make. And then eventually you'll learn. You make the videos that when you get a video that people really love and watch, you stick with that. Stick with whatever it is on your channel they love. But YouTube is trying to get to know you and filter you out and put you out there. And there are going to be so many Miss Brenda fans and people who just support you and love you that are going to start following you, but it's not going to happen overnight. And I love that because it really makes you appreciate this journey or anything else when you really had to work for it as opposed to it going so fast, right? So I would say it's a blessing in disguise. You just got to be patient, just like on this GLP-1. The GLP-1 has a lot in common with this YouTube journey. I will tell you that. So yeah. And another thing too is you could have a video that you make in December and it might not take off till June of 2026. I mean, it's just amazing. And people had told me that before, and I didn't really believe it. I'm like, I need to see it to believe it type. And they were right. So yeah. So that's all I'll say about that. Let's see. Grace, that makes sense. For some reason, I thought you did. Yeah, I thought that too. I think it's the way you worded it. And I think you were logging in that day from your cruise. I don't know. I can't really remember. If I have a medical emergency and all my information is in your electronic health records, my PCP prescribed Zepbound, so any doctor, hospital can see all my drug info. I have, yeah. So we have a system like that here too. And so yeah, see, Brenda, people are saying they follow you, and she appreciates you. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. You said, JC, my friends and the rest of my fam also do not know. But your hubby and your kids know. That's what I thought you were saying. That's harder to pull off. Okay, I'm so far behind in this chat. This is 9:18 and it's 9:47. That's okay. Okay, so Saturday, tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, if you're interested in journaling, if you like to write, if you have a journal, you want some creative ideas, go to her live tomorrow at 10 a.m. All right, so I don't know if I'll be in there because I have something going on in the morning, but I'm sending folks your way. So go in there tomorrow. Real Journal Talk with V. We love that. Okay. Bound and Me. How are you? Bound and Me. What? I got to get over to your channel because I haven't seen you over there. What are you doing? How are you doing? How many pounds down are you? What is going on? Okay. So she said, hello to everyone. Yeah, I'm so far behind. Let's see. She said that you wish YouTube has an instant messenger. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so oh yeah, you said how many times we've had to advise if allergies are okay, yeah. And that's the good thing about having things electronically, even though, you know, you think about the hackers of it all, but I mean, what are you gonna do? Let's see. You did the same for your mom and dad. Very good. Okay, so let me see. I'm trying to see if I have any other questions. Um, I have no shame in saying I'm on this medication. I could care less about the judgment of others when it comes to this. And by the way, you missed my previous answer. Was it this? Was it this answer, Taisha? And you're probably going to tell me like 20 minutes later. Sorry. Obviously, if I need GLP-1, GIP, I have a hormone deficiency, so I explain it that way. Very good. I like that too, Kate. I love that. Very good. Okay, so this is the question about not being judged. Okay, finally, I've gotten to that. Jeez, Louise. Okay, so no judgment there. Yes, a lot of judgment from a friend. Okay, so what's up with that friend? What are you and that friend doing? Has it strained your relationship? Like, what is going on? I don't think I've been judged for using a GLP-1, at least not to my face. That's a good way to put it. Not to my face. Another not to my face. I share easily because I have nothing to be ashamed of. It may help someone. I love that. And that's why, I said that. I start to tell people that I think can benefit from it. I start running it down. And I haven't told a lot of people, but, the people that I do tell, I do give them some info. Pamela, same here. Not judged of what I do. Not judged that I know of. Okay, very good. Ain't nobody judging me because they don't know. I know, that's right. She said, I don't tell people because practically everybody I know has an expressed, okay, so a negative opinion. And I can relate to that. That's why you wouldn't tell, right? Because you don't want to hear it. And that's why I didn't tell initially. Like, I don't think people knew until I was like 30 to, even my dad, I didn't tell him until I was like 30, 40 pounds down, between 30 and 40 pounds down. So yeah, I didn't want to hear it either. It's like, I don't want to hear it. LOL. And I think another thing too is also I was kind of waiting it out. Now, if I'm really thinking through what I was really thinking, it's kind of like you want to see for yourself if it really works too. I think I thought that like I'm just gonna, wait until really my plan was not to tell people until I hit 50 pounds, but it just didn't work out that way. So yeah. Let's see. People who know me get all judgy. People who know me know, they know not to get all judgy with you. LOL. I will slap them right back with knowledge and facts. I can see that about you, Kate. I love that. Very good. You said no. Oh, no, you won't. I guess I don't have a lot of friends that judgment is a part of our relationship. They wouldn't be in my inner circle. Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. All right. She said, if you were judging, you wouldn't even be in my inner circle to begin with. Okay, Sydney, that's very valid. Yeah, I agree. I had a PCOS, an insulin resistance. So when people ask me about my weight loss, I tell them I found a treatment for some underlying medical conditions that were preventing the weight loss. Now, that is a very good way to put it. That's a very good way to put it. And I think, I'm thinking of being helpful to people who need something to say and want something to say. Yeah, and I don't know if besides the fact that it's none of your business, I just hope that people aren't not telling because they want people to think like they don't want to be embarrassed that they got help with it. Do you know what I'm saying? Because clearly a lot of us needed help, right? And so I think that that's okay. And I think you got to be okay with not being right about everything and not being perfect with everything, right? You got to be okay with that. And so if the fact that you had a support and a tool, if you got to, I think it's important to kind of share that with the people that are close to you that love you. But if you got a judgy friend, don't tell her. So this one judgy friend I have, she's going to be the last to know about a lot of stuff, that I have going on from here on out because of how she handled this. And she's in my inner circle. And did I know she was that judgy? I'm shocked. I did not know. So yeah, there's that. I didn't know she was that judgy. So now I know. And she could be judgy about this. Maybe she has like something personal going on with it that I don't know about. Maybe, maybe she knows something she's not telling. But again, if you don't tell me, I can't know. So I don't really share those that feel negative. Okay, judgy. So I haven't experienced that. Okay, very good. Ruth says some people are just too nosy. Someone asked if I was on Ozempic because I'm losing weight, and I said no, and didn't mention I was on Zepbound either. It's not their business. I love it. I love it. I can confidently say that no family has judged me. They're very supportive. Okay, very good. Once I told friends or neighbors, I found out they had been on it. That's what I think. Some of them are already on it. No judgment. Okay, very good. Okay, hello, Becky Clark. How are you? You said yes, you have some judgment from friends. And so how do you handle that? Are you still around them? Can you stand being around them? Like, do you just not talk about the GLP-1? Like, what is going on with that? And welcome to the chat, Becky. Welcome to the chat. And look at you. Oh my goodness, what a cutie patootie. Look at your hair. You know, I remember I used to have that my hair like that, but I used to have like a long on one side and short on the other. Can you imagine that? It was like the salt. Remember the salt and pepper look from back in the day? I used to have that. So short on one side, long on the other side. Love it. Okay, all right, all right. Okay. You said, I think this is the part of the reason the drugs won't ever be normalized. But my perspective is as a type 1. I literally had to use needles and vials to take insulin at 14 years old. Okay. So yeah, and I get your experience with that. So that you would have a little bit of a different perspective. All right. Very good. So many people are uneducated on these meds and are very judgy, saying it's the easy way out. So I choose not to share except with a few select people. Yeah, you know, and that isn't that unfortunate. Spidey sense is people judge. My close family are very supportive, but I think 80% others do judge. Yeah, and they do. They do. And to your face, they may say one thing, but behind your back, they're thinking something else. I don't tell because they're going to flat out judge my choices, even though they've never walked a mile in my shoes. That's so true. It's so true. Oh, I just remember one friend who was totally jealous that I've lost so much weight, and I could tell she wants me to fail. I definitely have distanced myself from her. Bye-bye. No way. I'm so sorry to hear that, but I'm glad you are taking it in stride and you're keeping it moving. You're keeping it moving. And that's why these lives and these, groups are great because, we have people that support us, don't judge us. And not only do we not judge, we root you on, right? We root you on. So I love that. That friend, that's unfortunate. So Mindy said, I told my husband and son and his wife. I also told a co-worker just in case. I knew my mom would be judgy, so I waited 8 months before telling her. I used Dave's book as a reference. Yes, very good. And I have Dave's book. I said I was going to give Dave's book to that one judgy friend. And I don't even know if I want to do that. Now I'm annoyed with her. She started off being annoyed with me. Now I'm annoyed that she was annoyed about this. So it's kind of like I don't even want to deal with it. Geez, Louise, I'm getting annoyed just thinking about it. I do have to say, but I'm not sure. I do not have to say, but I'm sure people know I take a GLP-1. They may. We will see. And that's exactly why you won't fail. So she'll still be jealous. I love that. Yes. Thanks, Dee Dee. I was inspired by you all and all the folks in the community to update my picture. We love it. It's nice to connect a face with a name. So we love it. Oh, I appreciate that. I love seeing the pics. I got over those all black everything. Let's see. Okay, I'm scrolling down. I had one family member say my butt is getting smaller, but don't lose any more. That was when I lost 50 pounds at Thanksgiving. One comment was I was going to disappear. This is why I don't share. Well, isn't that funny though, how people say that, when you're bigger, people don't say a word. When you're getting smaller, everybody has a comment about that, right? And, do you think that because I've heard a couple people say I am feeling small myself, but most people I know say I still got more to lose. I got a lot more to lose. And when they say that, do you think that's that's being a hater? Like when people say you don't need to lose any more. Meanwhile, you're still obese on the scale on the BMI. Do you think that's being a hater or let's see. Um That's so funny. My husband Lou just sat down next to me and friends. He's watching with me for the first time. He keeps saying, "Is she talking to you? Are you Miss Brenda?" Yes, this is my Miss Brenda. That's so funny. I love it. I love it. Yes. You know, why do I say? Because your name is Miss Brenda on there. That's why I say Miss Brenda. I love that. It's also, I feel like it's such a respectful thing to say. Okay. Yes, my real friends rush to their doctors to get them some ASAP. Your whole friend group, you were circled around. I love that. Very good. You said to get them some. That's too funny. You said, I'm telling him all about you as your comments come up on the TV. That's so funny. We are a family. Okay. People are saying, sorry to hear about your friend. I am too. That makes me sad. But you know what? Um, yes, people are saying, oh gosh, I know Jamie. I mean, amazing. That is amazing, amazing, amazing. You should be so proud of yourself. Um, Hello, GLP-1 community, says Becky. My daughter has been laid off and has been called back to work. And she lost her insurance too. We'll get back on Zepbound for weight loss. Praise God. Yes. Okay. Very good. I hope she gets back on too. You'll have to keep us posted to see if she does, so we can know if she does. We'll send prayers out for her. Isn't that, that is so terrible, terrible, terrible. But yeah, she's going to get back on track. Okay. Very good. Thank you for sharing that. We're wishing her luck and sending blessings. Okay. All right. I'm not sure if I will ever tell anyone my starting weight. I'm still embarrassed. Yeah, and I can't understand. I can't believe I told people too. And actually, 306.4 is the weight that I signed into here. When I went to the doctor to weigh in, the day I got my Mounjaro, I wasn't 304. I was not 3. I wasn't in the 300s. I dieted down because I didn't want her to see that weight. And then, I picked, so, I when I left the doctor with that Mounjaro, I was like, I had to eat everything I'm going to eat. Sorry. Did anybody do that too? Did anybody say, let me eat whatever I need to eat so I can get this out of my system, which you never really do, right? But I wanted to get it out of my system before I started. So I ate my way up to 306.4. And then during COVID time, I was up, my highest was higher than that one. Maybe on my second anniversary, I'll show like what that weight was. But yeah, so yeah. Jeez, Louise. And I'm embarrassed. Well, I'm not embarrassed anymore. I take that back. I was embarrassed. Since I've been on YouTube, I'm just not embarrassed. It is what it is. It's out there. And I think, maybe this will help you, Nora. I don't know. But I think saying it out loud is going to prevent me from going back to it. Because before I would say it to myself and I wouldn't say it out in the universe. And because I think I was keeping it, just like anything else, you kind of keep hitting into yourself. You don't really feel good until you release it a lot of times, not every time, but for the most part. And for me, that worked. So now that I'm saying how big I was and how much I weighed, I don't really see myself ever going back to that. Like I'm going to fight darn hard to not do that. You know what I'm saying? To never get over 300 pounds again. And I always said to myself, I'm never going to get over 300 pounds. And when I got over 300 pounds, I knew I had a problem. I knew I needed support. I just knew it. Because I never saw that for myself, having that much weight. Yeah. And everybody has their limit. For some people, it could be 250. For some people, it could be getting over 200, right? It's a shocker. So yeah, whatever it is, you just have to have your limit and your boundary and kind of stick with it. Let's see. People are trying to figure out your starting weight. Okay, so Sweet B, you say you don't know what yours was. You estimate it was over 330, but who knows? Yeah, just to get on the scale, like doing any of this in front of people, it cracks me up. So for some people who say like, oh my gosh, like if you've been following people's journey, you can see that they slim down. I mean, you'll be able to see that over time. Like they look different. They, their face slims out, their body slims out, whatever. So even if they're revealing the scale, and I will say, there's some people who say, to be a content creator, you got to show your weight to be successful. You do not. Think about Allie from Fit Flavor Fun. I remember watching her from day one. She was one of the first people I was watching on her journey. And I remember she never showed her weight on the scale. Now she'll have it up because it's a before and after. But she never led with that scale. She led with what was going on with her journey and her body. And I love that about her. I really do. I appreciate that was a different perspective because everybody else was all about the weight, and showing the weight and making you feel like as a content creator, you got to show yourself getting on the scale. You don't. You just have to be legit with knowing, okay, I'm doing all the things and the weight is going to come off, and talk about the journey and your side effects and give people support. But to say you got to be on that scale, if anybody tells you that, that's not true. And Allie has 10,000 subscribers, 11,000, I think she has now. And she didn't show week to week her weight. She did not. So there's that. So, and I know people want to see it. It's kind of important, to see and all of that. But I just think, if you're a content creator, be you, don't go in, if I was starting over, I would do what I want. I would do a lot of things different because I see a lot of cookie cutter stuff going on. And I always like to be different and think outside the box and do different things. So I would do things a little bit different. And, maybe moving forward, I will be doing things a little different. But, it's nothing like starting fresh out the gate, right? Doing something. And so, if you're one of those people who say, and I'm just saying that because that might be the difference between somebody being a content creator and somebody choosing not to share their journey. They might be saying, I don't want anybody to ever know my weight. Well, guess what? You don't have to. I'm telling you, Allie got on there and she would just put up 2 pounds down. She would put up 1 pound down. She wasn't always putting up her weight. And she really didn't. I mean, until I want to say the first time she ever really probably put up her weight, I could be wrong. I want to say she had lost close to 100 pounds before she did the total weight of it all. She had done like a checkpoint. But, every week she would just put up, lost a pound, lost 2 pounds, lost 2 point this, lost that. And it just added up over time. And how did you know she was legit? Because you saw her shrinking. Like you saw her over time go down. So if you want to be a content creator, get out there and do your thing. You don't have to be posting your weight every week. You really don't. I think people want to come along for the journey and support you, and the weight is important. But we all know now we have to focus on other things beside the weight, especially when you hit that goal weight. You really do. So let's condition ourselves to think that way now. Let's see. Oh, Rebecca. Hey, Rebecca, how are you? She says her best friend and her husband know about the meds, but my husband hates me taking it and feels that, it could be dangerous for the future outcomes. It makes it harder without his support. Yes. And that's one of those people that, loves you and cares about you and is very unsure. But I think by you being on it, you're going to show him that you're going to be fine. Right? Because, he's going to see firsthand from you. And that's one of the reasons why I even do interviews, because I was out to find people who had been on these GLP-1s, because I got the same kind of pushback from my family and friends. And I said, I'm determined to find people who have been on this long term. So that's why one of my first interviews was Mindy. I forget her last name now, not Mayor Mindy, but the other Mindy. You guys know Mindy. What's her last name? Is it Peterson? Is that her last name? She was one of my first interviews, and she had been on the GLP-1 for so long. I want to say this is her year 3 or 4 now. Might be 3 going into 4. And that's one of the things that, I wanted to talk to her, because I wanted people to see, like, it's people who've been taking this way before me that are doing just fine. So, yeah. Okay. Okay, so people are saying hello to each other. Okay, you said, Brenda said, if somebody asks you, you just tell them you're not going to lie about it. I just don't volunteer. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Let's see. Oh, Doris has an early appointment. Okay. All right. Very good. Okay. Oh, I see another new person in the chat. Oh, I see new person in the chat. Oh, is it Harm Marley? Well, I'm just going to call you Keely. I love that. I haven't told anyone at all, and I'll be taking my 4th shot tomorrow morning. Yeah, let's give you some confetti. Jeez Louise, so you're a week in, is that a month in, your 4th shot? Jeez, Louise, congratulations. So how are you doing on it? I'm gonna have to scroll down because this is a long chat to get your feedback. So how are you doing on it? 4 weeks in, do you feel great? You don't have to report your weight if you don't want to. If you want to, let us know. But we just love that. I love seeing a newbie come in the chat and a newbie that's on there. And you found some community support early because I didn't find a chat and people I felt comfortable talking to for months. 4 months. I was just kind of watching on the sideline. So you're on 2.5. Very good. Well, good job. Good job. Good for you for deciding to take control of your health. Yes, yes, yes. No side effects. Okay, very good. No side effects. We love that. Praise God. Absolutely. You've been on it for 7 months. You don't feel like it's easy or the easy way out. I feel like it's an amazing drug that has helped me in so many ways, but I have periods of struggling. And I thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. Because guess what? Me too. I have, I'm 22 months in. Yes. And you got to think the more you take these meds, and I don't know if a lot of people say this, and if you've been on it for a while, but your body gets used to it. And if you have a dose where you hit your stride and you could kind of ride things out. I feel like people have found that. But for some of us, you hit your stride until you don't. And then you need something a little bit more stronger. And I am telling you, my hormones and everything I have going on is just resistant sometimes to this medication. Okay. I mean, I honestly, it's at points during the end of that week where I could eat through the medication and I don't. And that's why I say it's me, partly it's me. I know it is. If I truly wanted to, I would have moved up the ranks so much faster with my doses if I really just didn't want, just was like, forget it, I'm not doing it. But I'm really trying to have a way of living and trying to like have a lifestyle go on here. And so for me, I don't want my hunger to be totally squashed. First of all, when that happened to me when I was on 12.5, I don't think that's normal. Normal to have no appetite at all and not want to eat anything, that's just not normal. Can I see myself living like that for here to eternity? No, and nor do I want to, because guess what? Not only am I, it's not normal. It's just I'm not getting nutrients in. I do not want my nutrients just to be from a Fairlife shake. And so when I first got on 12.5, that's how it was. Now I'm going to tell you, my body has gotten used to it. And, and I'm not going to speak this into existence, but I can see myself on the 15 milligrams. I can see myself eventually needing to be on the 15. And I don't know, maybe I won't, but I can totally see that. And I'm not against it at all. And I was just hearing something today that they're speeding up that retatrutide. Well, Eli Lilly wants to. Eli Lilly wants to speed that baby up. So I can see that even in my future one day, I'll try it, and people are saying, oh, I don't want to be the first to try it. Well, you were one of the first to try this. So I will be the first I will experiment with that and see how it makes me feel. And, I'm going to look at the research of it all. Now I'm going to try to seek out some people who have taken it. So I'm going to do my due diligence, but I'm not against that. I'm not against it either. And I'm probably one of those people that, that might need something stronger eventually, and I was scared at first. Now I'm fearless. Now I'm like, bring it on. And you know why? Because knowledge is power. I've learned more about it and I feel more safe and secure because I've learned things. And so that is the reason why. All right. So, okay. So, Miss Rebecca, she was saying, okay, your husband, that's what got me off on this tangent. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay, you were saying, oh, I wasn't complaining. I meant the people I know, friends and family. No, that's okay. That's okay. I think a lot of people are like that though. When they start off, they're like, oh, people aren't watching. People, it's natural, right? It's natural. Let's see. I think I'm scrolling down. Miss V, how are you? Does your judgy friend have weight? Yes. Yes, 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 they do. They do. And this judgy friend is one of those people, like she could take off the weight when she wanted to, just like that. But I think just like everybody, that menopause hit her, and now she can't take it off just like that. So I could see her eventually on it, and she probably will be one of those ones that won't tell you. She just be doing it, and she'll pop up and she'll be slim, claiming that she did exercise and and drank her shakes when that wasn't working before. Let me stop. So yeah, Okay. I agree, Miss Brenda. I feel like it's an effective tool, but at least for me, I still have to put in the work. Maybe for some it's magic, it's a magic thing. For me, it just supports the work I was already doing. Excellent. Yes, yes, yes. And you needed that little extra push and support. I think that's awesome. My judgy friend has a lot of weight to lose. Wegovy didn't work for her. I told her to try Zepbound, but she doesn't want to. That's a shame because it might work better for her. I think she's going to try it. I really do. I do. Uh, okay, what are you guilty about? What? Ah! Yes, ma'am. Okay. Okay, so she says cookie. Yeah, that seems to be a trend. Folks not willing to make a change and don't want to make a change. Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, you said my highest. I can't believe I was 25 pounds from 300. Isn't that amazing when you think about, how much you weigh? Yeah, it really is. Um, Geez, Louise, so many folks don't realize this medication is just a tool. You still have to do the work, better eating habits, exercise the best you can. Congratulations to all. We got this. Yes, I love that. I'm going to give you, right when you said that, we went up to 72 people watching. So I'm going to give you some confetti for that, Becky, because I think that's a great comment. That just kind of sums it up for us. Okay, very good. I love that. Yeah, you just do. I mean, what are you going to say? Ooh. Oh, Miss Brenda. She says, I was absolutely humiliated about my morbid obesity, but since making YouTube videos, I feel like I need to be all in for the good or for the bad. I don't want anyone to feel alone the way I did and do. Yes. And I told you, there's so many Miss Brendas out there, and they're going to find your channel. You just keep pushing. You're putting out a lot of videos. I'm like, when does she have time to make these videos? I love it. I love it. And I love it because it's also going to be a journal. Like when I go back and listen to some of my older videos, it's just like I can see what mindset I was in. You kind of remember, but you don't remember. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think that's so great. Yeah, and struggling is normal. And struggling is normal. It's a normal part of the process. And I just think that, if you get to a point where you're struggling or you get a bump in the road, that is life. That is life. I don't know anybody in life that hasn't had a struggle at some point. And if you haven't, just hold tight, keep your seatbelt on because you will. And, I just think that's it's just a normal part of the process. And we just got to hang in there. We got to hang in there. Okay, so let's see. Darium said, there's so much space for so many different experiences that can be shared. Don't be bored because I'll fall asleep. Oh my gosh. Bye, Miss Kate. Kate the Great. Okay, all right. Good night. People are saying good night. So, maybe we need to be getting off of here. What time is it? 10:17, 10:30. We're going to see if we get some more people. I get eye rolls from people about losing weight. I've lost 162.2. There's my point two. Point two so far. And I think that they will just have to get used to it. Absolutely. And don't you have you want to lose 100 more? I thought you said that, Mia. Mia! I love it. Let's give you some confetti. 162 pounds. We're going to get some applause on top of that. Jeez Louise, 62 pounds. I mean, amazing, amazing. And you know, people who are have an issue with that, it's their issue. That's just where it ends. It's their issues. It's not yours because you are doing it and doing it and doing it well. We love that. Oh my goodness. Okay. People are saying thank you. Um, okay, we love that. Thank you, Rebecca. She said you gave her that little push to keep going. You were going to delete your channel. Okay, very good. I'm glad you didn't. All right, thank you, Pam, coming in with the. We have 51 likes. Now it's 67. We had 62 people, so I don't know how many are liking it now, but that's good. 50 likes, that's great. The more you like, the more they push it out. So I love that. All right, so here's my last question of the night, and I don't know, we probably have answered this with all this chatting we've been doing in the chat. Oh, okay, here we go. This is my last thing, and we could help is her name Kelsey? Our person who's on their fourth shot. Don't like messing up folks' names. But what advice would you give to someone who's afraid to tell their loved ones? And I think I've probably given advice all throughout. So I'm going to let you guys give your advice. Somebody said we are on a delay. I think we are on a delay. We must be on a delay. Because I asked that question. I'm all the way down to my chat, Mel to the B. Mel, do you see that? I'm caught up. Okay, so what if Keely? Yes, thank you, Cookie. Keely. All right, so what advice would you give Keely or anybody that's starting out, or some people that are, like me, like 2-3 years in and haven't told people? What advice would you give somebody who's afraid to tell their loved ones? What can we say to them? And you guys had some great suggestions kind of already, that as I'm thinking about it. But people were saying, Jamie had I think that was Jamie that also had a really good one. What would you say? What advice would you give someone who's afraid to share? I'm trying to think. What's my advice is just, I don't know if I would lead with the GLP-1 at first, but if somebody said, well, how did you lose your weight? I would say, I had a tool, a medication my doctor prescribed to kind of help me out with it. I'm on Mounjaro, so I lead with the A1C of it all. And then I go into, but in order to get, the weight to come off and to lose as much as I've lost, I did some, lifestyle changes to help with that. So that's what I would kind of lead with. I would say if you're taking Mounjaro, to the A1C, to lead with that and go into the medication is great. If you're taking Zepbound and tirzepatide or semaglutide, Wegovy, and you start saying how, you tell people, I'm doing all, making lifestyle changes, and I have a tool from my doctor to support me in my weight loss, and leave it at that. And if they say, what is it? Then you could kind of get specific and tell them if you feel comfortable. But remember what I said earlier, judge that energy. If they're giving you that jealousy, envy energy, if they're giving you that judgy energy, you just keep it moving and you just tell them, making some lifestyle changes, and I would, list them or not. I would have somebody who's judgy. I'm going to keep it short. I don't even want to talk to you that long. So what advice do you guys have? You said it's none of my business. You don't have to tell anyone if you're not comfortable, but I would recommend telling at least one person you can trust. Okay. Find a community like this one to keep you encouraged. Excellent. Excellent advice. Let's see. You said, I think it's okay to keep this to yourself. And if you're ready to tell, you'll know it and you'll be able to share. Yes, it's your journey and you don't owe anyone an explanation about your journey. Very good. Very good. Regardless of the relationship. Excellent. Okay. Advice, feel them out. Follow your instincts. As Dee Dee would say, protect your peace. Yes, yes, yes. And I do believe in that whole energy of it all. You will know, like your gut is telling you, because some people I really told a lot and some people I cut it short and, said a little bit. And some people I haven't said a word to just because, I got that energy. I got that instinct that tells me not to. So read the room, in other words. Yeah. Yes, I love that. Know your audience. Excellent. If you think they'll be supportive, share what you're doing. If they're giving you the jealous or judgy vibe, you don't need to say a thing. I get that, and I love that. I love it. You read that room. You see who's supportive, tell them, talk to them. And another thing too is if you see somebody who has some struggles and you think it would be helpful, those are the people that I want to share with, because I'm thinking they're going to see that I'm slimmed down and that I'm feeling good and I'm having energy and and I'm looking different, and they're going to want that for themselves. Most people, if you see somebody being successful at something, you might not want exactly how they have it or exactly how they got it, but you want that for yourself, and I think that that's okay. Not to wax deep, I think the first person to approve of your journey is you. Yes, you have to work through your biases, your hangups, forgive the past versions of yourself. Yes, it may give you more openness to share or not to share. I agree with that. I agree with that. And some people, and Darium, even before you came in, some people shared, and I don't know, maybe you were listening in the bush just, but some people shared that, they were ashamed to tell people that they weighed that much, right? So if you were ashamed then, even though you lost, and people have lost and still are ashamed to tell that previous weight, or don't even know the previous weight because they didn't want to look at the previous weight. So I would say that is definitely true. And you always have to forgive yourself, forgive yourself. I was just talking to my cousin and she was telling me a story about something that's going on with her, and she messed up, right? And she just kept kicking herself and she was so down on herself. And so when I got home and I talked to her, I sent her a text that I made it home, and I, told her, the most important thing you got to do is forgive yourself. Like, you can't expect to be forgiven and move on, somebody else to move on if you have not. And I feel like in our GLP-1 community, a lot of people haven't really forgiven themselves for what we've all done to our bodies, and even slim people are doing things to their bodies they shouldn't be doing, right? Nobody is probably, and I'm gonna say nobody, but a lot of people probably aren't respecting their temple. And so we gotta kind of have to forgive ourselves, and when you know better, you do better. And that doesn't mean like, okay, I recognize I did something and I mistreated my body and I'm never going to do it again. You still may be working through the not doing it again, and that's okay too. So I agree. We really have to give ourselves grace and forgive ourselves, right? In order for people to embrace us, we got to be open and forgiving of ourselves before we can even expect that from somebody else. So I think that's great. Let's see. Okay. So you said, I didn't share because I dealt with lots of shame I had to overcome. It's a process. Yes. Yeah. And somebody else said that. And I was ashamed of my weight for so long. I mean, I'm telling you, if you're out there and you're ashamed to tell somebody, and I don't mean us, because maybe you're not ashamed to tell us, but if you're ashamed to say your weight, I'm telling you, stay, I'm not saying go out and run, tell everybody, run to the top of the hill. But I'm saying for me, it really is a freedom that I don't really care that people know I was over 300 pounds. It's just a freedom now. It's like not something that's hanging over my head that somebody has to stumble over and find out. Like, everybody knows, you know what I'm saying? So that has freed me up to be able to share that and talk about it and just keep it moving. Now, somebody said, oh, you were 300 pounds. Okay, yeah, and okay. Now what? You know what I'm saying? Now what do you want to talk about? Now what's really going on? Let's move it on. It's not going to hurt my feelings. I'm not ashamed of it. And so that's just a great feeling. I love that. I love that for myself. So hopefully, everybody else can get there too. And it was a process. It did not happen overnight. Yes, they're saying, excellent, Darium. Mel is giving you a heart, giving you a heart. Thank you for that, Darium. Okay. Darian, I'm so grateful you joined and all the GLP-1 lives that supported us all too. Yes. Thank you. We have a lot of hurting folks in our community. Please be a safe space for them to feel seen and supported. I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. And, sometimes, I also think, and she says so true. Sometimes I also think, Darian, sometimes people aren't ready, and I think people, it reminds me of, I'll never forget this. And I'm going to use this as an example because it's so, and not a big deal. But, I know so many people have been talking about this particular, element, the particular electrolyte a lot of us use. And, and so I remember another person saying that they had started taking Element and people were like, oh my gosh, Element, I got to get some. I got to order some. Like they had never heard it before. But it's because it came from this particular person who they really trusted and looked up to, or saw that they were taking it and thought, okay, now I'm safe to take it too, or maybe they you said it before and it just went past them, and now this person said it and they were ready to take it in. So I always tell people, you could have said something to me before, I could have heard it a million times. Now I'm ready to hear it and take it in. And I think we have to realize that sometimes when people are on these lives, no matter how many times we say slow and steady, no matter how many times we say don't compare yourself, no matter how many times we say only, on December 12th, they may not be ready, but maybe they'll be ready on December 15th. Maybe they're ready on December 20th. When they hear it, they had an experience and it hits them in a different way. So I think that we got to be ready for that. And I guess I know that being a teacher too, because a lot of times when you teach something at the beginning of the year, the kids don't have it. You repeat it again by the end of the year and it clicks because they've had all that experience and they had time to learn and grow their brain. It works like that with, I think, a lot of things in life too. And some folks got that element and their experience is way different than yours. Some love it and something. Yeah. And that's okay. And, the people who don't love it, I always say that. That's why it's choices out there. People love it and people don't. Yeah. And I'm okay with that. I really am. And, and people say that Ultima, I think, is that the one that people love, Ultima? I can't do that one. Most of them I can't do. I just happen to love that one. But yeah, and it's okay. And I think we have to be okay with that. Are we going to argue over whether Element is salty or not? We're not. Because it might be salty to you, but it's delicious to me. And I really water it down too. I will say that. I water that baby down a whole lot. Okay. All right. You said you wish you could go back and watch the replay. It's hard to keep up while yeah. Also, does anybody know of any other ones? Let's see. Well, I don't know. Let's see. Hi, everyone. Just dropping in. I'll watch the replay. It was an interesting conversation. This was a great conversation. I loved it. Thank you guys for joining me. I said I was going to stop at 10:30. It's 10:31. So, you guys, what a Friday night it has been. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate that. I will see you guys next Wednesday. I won't be on. I got a lot of stuff going on with family things that, the next week and into this weekend and into next weekend. So I will see you on Wednesday, though, ready to chat it up. Have a good night and have a safe weekend. Stay warm if you're in an area where it's cold and it's snowstorms and blizzards. If you're in an area where it's sunny and nice and the weather's all great, luxuriate. And I will see you next Wednesday. Bye.